Hey, this is Mike from Introstars, and today I'm super excited to bring you a brand new episode of the Super Connectors podcast with a very special VIP guest, Luke Tobin. Hey, Luke.
Hey, good to see you. How are you?
Fantastic. So good to have you on the show. So,
Thank
Luke,
you for having me.
tell us a bit more about your journey as a super connector. What does it mean for you to be a super connector?
Oh, for me, I think your network is your net worth, right? It is the most valuable thing that you can develop over time. It's always been probably the foundation for me for all the successes that I've had. So I've had 3 exits in my time. All of them have come through some sort of referral network effect. So being able to add value and build synergies with people, I think is critical for success.
And so what was that journey like? Were you always a super connector since you're a kid? Did it come from your personal life, your professional life? Did it evolve over time? Tell us more about that.
I think I've always been a very people person, for want of a better word. So I've always had a good connection with people, but actually leveraging that as like a strong network and understanding what that means. I think that started to become a lot more apparent with tools like LinkedIn, right? And some of these, actually how you can start to see how that network effect grows. But I think I've always valued having strong connections, being able to add value to other people as well. I think, my early life, I had a lot of kind of sales-based jobs, and that is very much about how you can offer value to somebody else in exchange for a service. So the kind of foundational piece has always been there.
And so what has happened in your professional life where you actually had to make introductions or receive introductions? You said you work in sales. Like, was that really focused on referrals? Like, how did you end up making lots and lots of introductions for other people?
Yeah, I think a lot of it probably comes from those early sales days. So lots of networking, lots of phone bashing, lots of whatever it was. But the thing that always worked best was a referral, and actually being able to genuinely introduce someone and say, this person has this pain or this need. You have a solution. Let's get you guys in the same room. And if you do that enough for others, then they do it for you as well. And that kind of whole network effect kicks in. And actually, what I found is, if you are really good at being a super connector, you actually don't need to go and look for sales or work or growth yourself, because it will come to you back in return. So I try to add value in everything that I do, give out a lot of free information, newsletters, whatever it might be. And then in return, I often get referrals as well.
Yeah, so it's rebuilding your personal brand by helping others. People know, oh yeah, Luke is that guy who helped me. I should help him back. You should talk to him. He knows everyone. And it's really kind of that two-way street. Absolutely, I get that.
Exactly what it is, yeah.
And so what is your approach to networking today? How do you value connections or introductions, and how do you approach networking?
So for me, it's all about adding value. So I run a newsletter called The Success Method, and I send that out every week. And there's no monetization to it. It's just offering my knowledge. And I also get third parties to add some of their feedback, some of their knowledge from their own successes, and do webinars. I go to networking events. I do all this stuff. But what I find is that by adding that value to others, eventually it does come back to me. So yeah, I do a lot on LinkedIn. I do a lot across social media. So yeah, constantly putting out value, and in return, then it comes back around.
And so when you're helping other people, you love to connect people, you're a super connector like myself. I love to introduce people because I truly want to help others. You truly want to help others. But at some point, you do have to monetize sometimes. And so how do you walk that fine line between building your personal brand as a helper, doing it really to help others, but also monetizing without damaging your reputation? So how do you walk that fine line?
It's very tricky, I think, to get this piece right. And I think quite often your audience, certainly online, reacts badly if you try to sell the wrong type of thing or wrong type of message. So I have tried elements of like sponsorship on my newsletter and promoted posts and that kind of thing. But the thing that genuinely works best, I think, is actually coming at it the other way. So give out lots of free value, and in return, then people will spend more time looking at what you actually offer from a paid perspective. And if it's the right fit, they come to you. So, I think the perfect solution I haven't really found for how to monetize that wider connection piece, but to date it's worked pretty well through referrals.
And so when you look at new platforms like introstars, which allows you to track every introduction you make and receive, and also guarantee you get paid an introduction referral reward if a deal comes out of it. How does that change the game for super connectors, for yourself or other super connectors out there, or even for regular people who go to networking events?
To be honest, from the first moment we spoke about introstars, I got it, loved the idea. I think, to be able to monetize in a very subtle way, an introduction, I think, is a really positive opportunity. I also think with more and more people building personal brands and leveraging social media, having a way of, again, subtly using those connections to build value is really important. So I think introstars is in a prime position to do some damage. It's exciting.
Exactly. Well, obviously the incentive is always to help others and create value for others.
Yes.
But then if a deal comes out of it, if value is created, it's only fair to compensate the introducer who went out of their way to make it happen. So it's recreating that win-win experience and hopefully inspire a whole new generation of super connectors out there.
Exactly. No, I can see the benefit of it for sure, and I'm sure it will happen. Yeah.
Absolutely. So do you see any trends in like networking and introductions and referral programs? Any trends you can see, and how does that change your approach and what you're working on?
I think for me, the last few years off the back of COVID, people have gone crazy on personal branding, right? So everyone's very focused on building kind of a digital footprint for themselves, more so than ever. I mean, there's always been demand there, but more so than ever. So I think really I've been trying to do more. So double up, double down on everything, because I think in a noisy space, you've got to be noisier. I think trying to leverage and understand what that infrastructure is going to look like from an AI perspective over time as well. And then I think platforms like introstars are in a prime position to come in and help to monetize and create value around that ecosystem, because more and more of these connections are being done digitally. So yeah, I think that's really where things will continue to develop.
And obviously bridging the gap between digital and in person and find that balance between the two.
Yes.
I think that's also big. As you said, during COVID, people were all locked up. Now they all want to be outside and meet people face to face. That human connection is so important.
It's critical.
But on the other hand, the transactions still have to be on some kind of digital platform to have a ledger and track them and make it work, right?
Exactly. Look, people buy from people, and being in person is never the same as digitally. But yeah, that first handshake or that first kind of connection piece online is kind of how it's going down. So yeah, it makes sense.
So what is the big project you're working on at the moment? Any big milestones for you this year, the next year? Anything you want to share, and where can people follow you?
Yeah, thank you very much. I've just exited my third business, which has been quite exciting. Thank you.
Can you tell us more about it?
Yeah, it was a marketing agency that I developed over 7 years, sold to South America's largest agency group. Couple of year kind of earn out, and now coming off the back of it, trying to figure out exactly what life looks like for me. I run a small VC, an advisory firm called Tobin Capital. So I'm developing that, doing a few investments a year and supporting a few brands. Alongside that, my newsletter, The Success Method, continue to just try and add value and support people in kind of frameworks for success and what that looks like. So yeah, a bit more of that, and we'll see. I'm sure there'll be something else just around the corner from a new business perspective. I have new ideas every minute. So to connect with me, LinkedIn is probably one of the best ways. Luke Tobin on LinkedIn, and if not, luketobin.com.
Easy. Well, thank you so much, Luke. Such a pleasure to have you on the show.
Great to be here.
Amazing pearls of wisdom, a great experience. Congrats on your third exit. That's amazing as well.
Thank you.
So I can't wait to keep on reading your newsletter and then see you at many more in-person events.
Look forward to it. Awesome. Cheers.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Luke. Take care.
Thank you.